If you're just getting into or are planning on hitting the refresh button on your content creation and you're looking for ways to improve how you plan your content, whether you're in Zambia or in Africa, this is the video for you. Welcome to or welcome back to, if you've been here before. If you're new, please subscribe. I'm trying to learn again how to talk as quickly as possible, but welcome to Creators Democracy, where we do content by the content creators, for the content creators, with the content creators. So as you probably know already from hopefully the last video, we're doing a series on getting started, and this particular episode we are looking at planning. Now, before we get into the actual steps of planning, or not necessarily the steps, but some things that I've learned along my journey on how best to plan my content, there's a few things we need to get straight. One of the first things you need to realize if you're planning on stepping into the world of content creation is it's almost never as fun creating the content as it is watching. Unfortunately, we would all love that dream to be true, but the truth is it's never as fun. So if you're coming in because you enjoy watching videos, I'm not saying there's a problem with that, but there's something in the psyche you might want to fix. Another reason why you will desperately need to know that is because a lot of people have the misconception that unlike with other fields or other industries, you don't have to put in much work because content is just content, right? You just record the video and put it out. You record the audio, put it out, and you've got a podcast, and it's that easy. But it's not that easy because it takes work. And when I say that, I mean it to say, of course, more often than not, people who do decide to go into content creation, hopefully you're one of those people, are creating content around something that they love to do, whether it's sewing, knitting, playing board games, even talking to people and helping content creators figure themselves out, interviews, whatever it is. More often than not, it's something that you love doing already, and then you decide to package it as content. But in order to convey the same love you have for the thing into a video that other people can share with and see that and get the same impact as the thing has for you, it takes work. It's not as easy as just recording. And I guess those are some of the things you're going to learn along the way. But for a start, just keep that in your mind, that it's not always rosy. Of course, it does have its rosy days, but knowing that it's not always rosy will let you know that on the days when it really doesn't feel rosy, it's not necessarily that you're doing something wrong, but sometimes you just have to grind out the content. And when I say grind out, I don't mean force it, but there's days where you know there's something on your plan for your content that you should get out, but you just don't feel like doing it that day. And you're going to feel like, oh, maybe I'm a bad content creator or whatever excuses and things people tell themselves and knock themselves down for. I'm just here to let you know that it's hard work. It's not always fun and games. There are fun sides. Like, I really enjoy recording content, so figuring out the lighting, figuring out the setup, all the stuff we're going to look at in this series is stuff that I already enjoy doing. So it's not that far of a leap for me to turn on, figure out lighting, figure out my setup, and get into recording. I have a lot of fun doing that. I have a lot of fun editing because it allows me to try different things. For example, I just put that there. Now, when I'm recording it, of course, there's nothing there, and I'll figure out what I'm going to put there, probably in post, but I have the freedom to do that, and that's something I genuinely love. But there are days when it's not as funny as just doing that, or as fun as just doing that. Some days it takes hard work to grind out the thing. So I'll take that back, whatever it is I put there. Another caveat is we're going to be looking at content creation in general, but I will be speaking quite specifically to YouTube for a start, mostly because the content creators I know on TikTok, the thing with the way TikTok works is most of your planning is thought out. It's not necessarily a setup. So in the series, we'll mostly be doing YouTube based setups and ideas and thoughts and sharing those. Again, if you're a content creator already, or if you're just getting in and there's some ideas you have, or you want to share your experiences, please let us know in the comment, or you can reach out to us. Jesus Christ, we're doing this again. On content Creators Democracy on Instagram. It's at Creators Democracy on Instagram. You can look for the logo and you'll know that you've got us. So let's get into it. Now, one of the things I learned in my first year of YouTube that was a pretty steep learning curve, I will say, was planning for your audience. And it sounds kind of, I don't even know the word to use, but it sounds kind of cliche, so to speak, but it really does help knowing who you're making the content for. Now, of course, if you're just getting started because you just want to make content, you just want to put something out there, that's fine in the initial phases. And of course, there's certain things that you just learn as you go along, but it helps to know who your audience is. And here's why. Let's take, for example, this video. In order for this video to be as potent as it needs to be and get the right message across, I need to tailor so many things in this video very specifically to who I want to get the most value from. Let me give a secondary example before I get back to that one. Is a preacher is going to prepare a message knowing very specifically who he's preparing the message for, or at least I would hope so. In that, if he knows that he's going to preach a message to the sick, healing is most likely going to be a very big subject. It will determine the time he goes to speak to them, what he talks to them about, his demeanor when he's talking to them, things that might seem insensitive, etc. I don't have the full scope on that, but what I mean is your audience kind of helps you curate and define what you're going to be speaking on, how you're going to address them. It determines a whole bulk of it. So it's kind of a shift in perspective from, hey, I just want to put videos out or audio out, to a more audience first type of content creation. And that's kind of critical. That's something I've learned is a pretty big deal. If I can be as candid as possible, is I put out I think about 4 or 5 gaming videos on my third channel, second or third, one of the two. Anyway, my gaming channel, I put out games there. I put out gameplay, but the people I'm trying to reach don't really like the games that I'm putting out, because I mostly just play the games that I like. Now, if say primarily I'm looking for views or I'm looking to get paid off of the video, that's something I need to rectify as quickly as possible. So knowing who your audience is helps you define and curate and really structure how you want your channel to look. It really helps you determine what you put where, and all of that. All those pieces go into it, and so it's extremely important that you go about planning who your audience is. Know when you're getting in, if you're doing a podcast, who do you want to actually talk to? Who do you imagine is listening to your podcast? Who do you imagine is watching your video? And why should they? Because there's about 1 million other videos that are getting put out every single minute. There's a new podcast every I don't know how long. why should they listen to yours? Why should you be watching this video right now? So you notice that every time I make it very specific to say if you're in Zambia or if you're in Africa, because I know those are issues that I went through. Those are issues that I can tackle in the best of my ability. I'm not going to give you a generic video on how to set up a camera, how to set up your lighting. There's people that have done those videos. I don't need to jump in that space because my audience isn't necessarily video guys, it's content creators, it's you guys. And so you have this video, which is very niche, but hopefully bring some value to you, which, by the way, if you find this valuable or someone you know might find this valuable, please share this video with them. Please put it on your WhatsApp statuses. I'm trying to get to at least 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. If you could help, that would be massive. But without further ado, let's move to the next thing. A thing you're going to hear about a million times every time you ask a content creator, someone who is already doing their content, something you're going to hear every single time when they are talking about how they got successful, etc., is consistency. Now, something that I had to learn kind of the hard way last year was, in order to be consistent, your content creation kind of has to work with the rest of your life. It works better, rather, if it all flows in what you call your day-to-day life. If you don't normally do stuff but you want to do a vlog channel, it's kind of harder than someone who already goes a lot of places and does a lot of fun things. It just makes more sense for them to do a vlog channel because they have stuff to vlog, which is why I have a hard time vlogging, because I don't do much apart from video. And I've been trying to consult with someone because there's a docu I want to do this year, and it will involve a lot of vlogging. So if you know people who are really good at vlogging, please let them know in the comments that they need to help me. But anyway, that aside, one of the first things you need to realize, and this is kind of personal, it's not necessarily something you go out sharing with just everybody, is why do you want to get into content creation? You kind of have to plan for that in the process of planning yourself, because that, going back to it, on the days when it's hard, you kind of have to know why. Right now the time is 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes. I hope you'll be able to see this. It's 5 minutes to midnight, right? 5 minutes to midnight. I had a super long day. I don't know if you can see that, but it's 5 minutes to midnight. I had an extremely long day. And the last thing I want to be doing 5 minutes to midnight is recording a video. But I know why I'm recording it. I know why I want to get this video out. I have a plan for it. And that's kind of what's getting me out, instead of being in my bed sleeping or scrolling through TikTok, which is super fun. I'm out here talking to you guys so that we can together make this amazing thing we are calling a content creators space, a content creators democracy, where content creators get to decide or have a say in what content creation should look like in Zambia, should look like in Africa. And so this platform is pretty much just saying, yo, we can all gather here and put our minds together and figure this stuff out. But anyway, know your why. Why? Even if it's just because you want to see what it's like to put out content. If you want, I started out with TikTok. I just recorded, saw someone do a fun transition, recorded the video and put it out there. And now I'm not doing too swell, but I'm at like, I think 4,000 followers on TikTok. Yes, about. And that is initially my why was just, hey, I want to see what it's like to put out content. I was already doing a podcast, but I wanted to see what video was like. And it started from there, but then as I went along, as I learned more about it, I realized, why I actually want to put out content is this and this and this. And so it's something that even if you don't get from the go, just have something that can put you through the really, really tough days, because I can almost guarantee there's going to be really tough days. Another example is if you don't if in your day-to-day life, the way you know yourself, the way you understand yourself, you have never been interested in video games, you have never been interested in anything to do with gaming, why would you open a gaming channel? It's so outside of your natural life. I think even you can kind of see how it would be difficult to be consistent in that space. Whereas if you're always cooking, bro, or sis, or just bruh for general for everyone, if you're always cooking and you decide to start a cooking channel, that makes sense. Because all you'd have to do is live your life every day, point a camera, and make it do what it does. To sum it all up, just know yourself. Know yourself. The route of content creation, I've learned, is something that requires a lot of self-honesty and openness, especially if you genuinely want to build an audience. Like, hey man, I can tell you right now, my gaming channel is not doing very hot. It's you and me talking right now, so I don't really mind. But it requires a lot of self-honesty if you actually want to grow, if you genuinely want to build an audience, if you truly want to realize what your why is. You have to kind of be honest with yourself and say, okay, I can manage to record this many videos a week. I can be able to do this and this and this in a week. I want to create content because of this and this and this and this reason, and genuinely be honest with yourself. Hey, if you're trying to get into content creation because you want to create a bag, if you want like an extra bag, by any means, all I'm saying is be true to it. And in the days when creating content is hard, let the bag be the reason why you still create the content. That will feed your consistency, because without that, there's nothing stopping you from saying, it was fun while it lasted, we move. Now, the third and final thing we're going to look at is planning for your platform. So very similar to the first thing we looked at, which was planning your audience. You kind of, once you know who you want to reach, you kind of have to figure out where you can reach them. So whether it is creating, what are those things called on Twitter? Twitter Spaces. Whether it's Twitter Spaces or just generally tweets. Whether your type of people, the people you are genuinely trying to reach, are on Instagram watching reels, or if they're already your followers, or if they are on TikTok, if they are on YouTube, if they are Facebook people, whatever platform that you believe your people are on, and even if it's multiple platforms, that's fine. But know your platforms, know what is and isn't possible. For example, I can tell you right now, I don't put any of my stuff on IGTV. I don't have a problem with IGTV. IGTV is probably a great platform, but the people I'm trying to reach just don't watch IGTV. Are they on Instagram? Definitely. I'm running the ad for this video on Instagram as we speak. By the time this video is out, there's probably going to be ads running on the Instagram channel page, whatever it's called. But I know where my tribe is. So this entire planning portion is pretty much just figuring out where your tribe is. If the Facebook people are a certain way. Let's be honest. There's a certain way people are on Facebook. So you figure out what your content is, and you know, okay, this type of people, this demographic, this SWAT, the people that are interested in this cooking show are probably going to be on Facebook and say YouTube, and maybe I can throw a few quick recipes on TikTok. The simpleness in planning your platform makes such a difference, because you know exactly what you have to put out. If you are putting out videos for YouTube, you know you're using this aspect ratio. usually they're slightly more high production. If it's TikTok, they tend to usually do better when they are more organic and not as manufactured videos. I learned that the hard way. Like, you spend 2 hours trying to put a TikTok together and 10 views, and then some random video you just wake up, record, and that's it. And that's the one that goes crazy. If skits is your thing, then short form platforms, your TikTok, your reels, your YouTube shorts, that's what you kind of want to be aiming for, because that's where people consume the most short form media. And so, to summarize, know your platform, know your audience, know yourself. Just these three. Let's see. PAS, SAP, SAP. Yeah. What is SAP? Self, audience, platform. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. To get started with your planning. Now, this is just the planning phase. Just SAP. Yourself, your audience, your platform. So in the next episode, we're going to be looking at lighting. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in a breakdown of what my lighting setup is and other lighting setups that are available, please leave a like on the video. Please subscribe. Please leave a comment. If you have any questions, leave a comment, and I will catch you on the flip side. Peace.